Well, for more, we're now joined by Marco Mendicino, Canada's Minister for Public Safety. Minister, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now, when you made your announcement this morning that you were launching this buyback program from industry and from store owners, you also said that you're doing so with the collaboration of the Canadian Sporting Arms and Ammunition Association. But shortly after that news conference, that organization said that they remain skeptical as to the viability of this industry buyback. How do you respond to that?
Well, I was pleased to announce that we have a partnership with the CSAA to achieve a significant milestone in the purchasing back of approximately 11,000 assault-style firearms in conjunction with vendors and small businesses right across the country. Why is this important? Because these are guns which were designed for a battlefield and have absolutely no place in our communities. This is the back-end brace of our decision to implement a national ban on assault-style firearms, which has now been in place for 3 years. There are other steps that we need to take, and of course this comes against the backdrop of the 3rd anniversary of Portapique-Truro. I would point out that the Mass Casualty Commission has called on the government to continue to take additional steps so that we can be sure that these guns, which again, were designed to exert the greatest amount of lethal force in the shortest period of time, are not only banned and prohibited under the law, which they are now, but also removed from our communities. And working in partnership with the CSAA, we will be able to do that.
Okay, but again, that organization say they still remain skeptical, and I think part of that has to do with the cost of the program. They still have no idea how much you're willing to allocate for this compensation to the gun industry. How might you be able to address that skepticism to the organization with which you're now working with?
Well, first, by continuing to work with them, and the fact that we have a signed contract with them, I think shows the good faith between the government and that organization, along with the other businesses with whom they are going to be facilitating the surrendering, the compensation, and ultimately the destruction of those AR-15 style firearms. But also, we're going to be upfront with Canadians about how we're going to cost this program. It is a program that does not have precedent. It is a program that is national in scale, and it is a program that will require good faith partnerships within industry, which is why we reached out to the CSAA, but as well with law enforcement and with gun owners themselves. And we're going to do this work in good faith with all of those folks.
Can you ballpark a figure, though, at this point?
Well, the budget, which was just introduced a few weeks back, does allocate about just shy of $30 million or $29 million to create a platform, which we're going to use in conjunction with the CSAA. But then we're going to roll out the next phases of this program, which will put more of a focus on individual owners. So right now, our primary focus is to work with industry and vendors and small businesses in the gun industry, and this agreement is a significant milestone on that front.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, a significant milestone here. But you know, when we talk about this program, and again, this is for industry and store owners from whom you're going to get these guns back from, how many assault-style weapons will you actually be removing from public circulation?
Approximately 11,000 in the first tranche, and there will be many more, I am sure, that we'll be able to compensate gun owners with. And that is exactly the work that we have rolled up our sleeves on and are doing with as much energy and intensity as we can. And we're also trying to be efficient. And that's why the agreement that we announced today does allow us to streamline our processes. So by working with the CSAA, we have strong lines of communication with them. We also then have good relations with small business owners who have these approximately 11,000 assault-style firearms in their inventory. And then from there, we'll go from to compensating, to surrendering, making sure there's appropriate invoicing, and then ultimately deactivation or destruction.
Okay, so good relationships, as you say, with the industry. But what about the provinces? You know, Alberta and Saskatchewan don't seem to be on board with this program. What will you do to reach out to them?
Well, first, I would point out that there are some provinces who are also very supportive. For example, Quebec and British Columbia have both been very outspoken in the joint work that we are doing around the banning of assault-style firearms. And we also maintain lines of communication right across the country. You know, we've held federal, provincial, territorial meetings with our provincial and territorial partners to talk about reducing gun violence. The bottom line is that in order to keep Canadians safe, all levels of government need to work together. And that is equally true when it comes to getting assault-style firearms out of our communities. And what I hear when I speak to Canadians about this, including gun owners, is that they get it. They understand that there are some guns that were designed for a battlefield and have no place in our communities. I think provincial and territorial governments understand that too, and we'll keep at it to make sure that we can realize this important goal.
Okay, now the second phase of this buyback program will be extended to individual owners. Again, this is industry, this is shop owners. The next step will be individual owners. They currently have amnesty to own the weapons until October, I believe. Will you be introducing the second phase soon, or will you be extending that amnesty?
Well, right now we're focused on advancing this program as quickly and as efficiently as possible, but without compromising the integrity of that program. And so we're going to do whatever we possibly can to move it forward, recognizing that the amnesty period does provide some relief to those gun owners who purchased their firearms, which are now caught by the national ban, which we put in place under an order in council issued in 2020, so that we can be fair to them. And there are additional steps that we will take beyond today, but today is important. Today is about making sure that we have concretized an agreement with industry leaders so that we can get that first bite out of the apple, if I could put it that way. And then from there, we'll continue to make as much progress as we can afterwards with the next phase of this program, working closely with individual gun owners as well.
Marco Mendicino, really appreciate the time today. Thank you for that.
Thank you very much for having me.